European players have become known for their poppy. But how good are they really? My name is unpronounceable, and I've designed 3 golf courses to bring our players the ultimate challenge. Welcome to GB's Poppy Golf.
The rules are simple. Your ultimate is your driver and your E ability is your putter. Each use of your abilities counts as a stroke. The player with the least amount of strokes by the end of our session is the European champion of GB's Poppy Golf. Mickey, any fighting words?
I think I'm gonna win this. I'm really sad that Yak couldn't be here. Unfortunately, his poppy was too bad. So, yeah, but I'll bring it home for G2 Esports.
All right, well, go ahead with the first shot.
Hole 1.
What's your strategy for this one?
I have a feeling this one I just have to like fully stroke it, you know? That's how it looks like to me, but...
Go ahead.
Oh my god. Bro, it was a full ulti, by the way. Oh my god! It's, it's bugged. Okay, first one is inside.
Wow, you suck.
I'm Poppy King.
Okay, you heard the king. Let's see it. Oh, that's
close,
just
eh?
outside of it. It's not in hole in one.
Okay. Okay, 2. It's fine.
Now, Jackies, how often have you played Poppy? You're a mid laner.
Probably like once or twice in my life, yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be a bit of a tragedy. Oh my god, I don't know how far this actually goes. Oh shit.
Oh, that's a fully charge.
I mean, let's just try. See what happens. Okay.
And that's a hole in one on the first
Oh
one.
my god. Wait, this champ is easy. What the?
And that is just, I'm gonna full charge it. No way. Just like that.
Hole in 1.
Truly the
Okay.
Poppy goat of Europe.
Hole 2.
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm focused.
Okay, multitask.
Hole in 1.
Okay, let's see if you can do it with this one.
You're poppying
I'm
off.
so good. It's crazy, no?
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Ooh, is that too far? Oh, it's just outside of range again.
And now it's hard to make E maybe because the wall...
Oh,
okay.
That was actually beautiful. Well
Okay.
done.
It's embarrassing.
Bringing out his driver in an unusual situation.
Okay, I'm just gonna eat it. Okay, it's inside. It's inside. Alright, I'm gonna watch out this one.
Hole 3.
If I make this in 1 and nobody else makes it in 1, I'll be at peace. Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's in!
You are goated with the sauce.
I got the hardest one in 1. 3 there, 3 here. 7.
That is indeed
I'm the champion.
So I will try to make it in 1, but...
Pog.
And that's a hole in 1 for Antonio. In
Nice.
total, 5 strokes.
I'm so scared.
You have to press your ultimate
Yeah,
at one
yeah,
point.
okay, I know.
Ooh, that's a long one.
Oh no. How do I putt this?
Oh my god, that's out of the bush. So that's 3 on this one. So that's actually 5 in
Yeah.
total
Good effort,
again.
though.
So there's 1 full charge, 1 half, and this one's gonna be just like a short one.
Okay, let's see if you can actually commit to
shit.
it.
I have another try, right?
I mean, that counts as 1.
One.
Nice shot.
And with that, we have found a Poppy Challenge winner, Poppy Golf Mickey. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I mean, it was an expected result, to be completely fair with you. Vizcachi wasn't here to compete, so it was kind of easy. Like, the competition was not that strong this time around, so the bar was very low.
Okay.
But
Thank you very much, Mickey. This has been GB with GB's Poppy Golf, and we'll see you next time on The Rift.
welcome back to the LEC live from the Riot Games Arena in Berlin, Germany. We're fresh off the green and headed into the last 3 games of the regular season. And in the middle of the pack, 4 teams find themselves tied at 2 and 4, desperate to break away from the impending elimination. And at the top of the table, the LEC Classic comes with a twist this week with our match of the week, Fnatic versus G2, where Fnatic find themselves at the top of the table this time. It's a tale of 2 halves, I feel, in the LEC this week, with a clear top 4 and the rest of the teams. Aragon, Odo, Amne, what do you think of the state of the league right now?
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to deny that this is one of the, the closest splits we've had, especially without G2 absolutely dominating everyone. But I don't think the table and the standings say it all. I think there are teams who could be better and higher than they are placed, as well as teams that could be lower.
Yeah, anything can happen, honestly, here.
Yeah, especially with the bottom being so stacked, not having any team at 3 wins and everyone being clamped up together at 2 and 4. I feel like we're going to have an exciting day today.
Yeah, and even when I look at the standings right now, Fnatic, SK Gaming, Team BDS being already qualified to playoffs, that's not the top 3 I had on my bingo card starting the summer, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had SK Gaming top 4. I thought, I do think that the bot lane was problematic and holding them back, especially getting rid of X and DOS. I thought bringing in a potential new bot lane could slingshot them all the way to the top. So I had them top 4, but I didn't think second.
And
that was a surprise.
Fnatic, so G2, still looking to qualify. Honestly, we started the split by saying who can challenge G2. They will get the playoffs if they qualify today. But Fnatic are the real one, undefeated so far in the LEC.
Yeah, definitely. For me, Fnatic is the shocker. Sure, G2 post MSI struggles. We expected a little bit more from them, but Fnatic has been a little bit under the radar post MSI. No one expected them to be this dominant.
What's with the rest then? Because look at the second half of the standings here. Aragon, Heretics, Vitality, GX, KC, Rogue, Madlines are all struggling. It's anyone's game here.
Yeah, I think it's anyone's game, but I do have my eyes on some more than others. I think teams like Giantex, they could have picked up more wins than they've shown. I think it's very realistic that they could have won a game over G2, for example. I remember a really big Baron throw where they had the game fully in their control, and the same goes for Vitality. I don't see the same from KC and Heretics, but I still think it's up in the air.
Yeah, for me, GX is the interesting one because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of in the bottom 6, we have teams that are, 2 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, a loss in a row, 4 losses in a row, 2 losses in a row. And the only team that has consecutive wins in the bottom 6 is GX. And I think that's primarily due to, their newfound playstyle of empowering Jackies and making him the main star in this team. I
mean, that's the thing. We have this huge chaos middle of the pack teams, but as you said, some of them are rising. GX is obviously one of them. How did Jackies transform, though? Because, Aragon, I know that at the beginning of the year, we saw the potential within this player. But as a rookie player, there was still a lot of adjustments that needed to be made for him to shine the way he is today.
Yeah, there was definitely evolution when it comes to Jackies. I think at the start of the year, we saw a lot of playing with him on Setup Champions, setting up Peach at the time. But then they evolved to mainly play around Jackies. I think now playing with the Varus and all these kind of AD champions, they definitely do play around him. Before it was like Nico and playing for Setup and LeBlanc. But still, yeah, a lot of evolution.
Yeah, and definitely, in the previous splits, we saw Jackies have this sort of unique approach to mid lane, finding his own niche champions that are working very well. And I think, as you pointed out, this Varus is working wonders for them. And I also think that the whole team is doing a great job at, drafting towards it and making sure that he's getting a lot of the resources in the game and he can do as much as he can.
I think you can say the same thing around the entirety of GX, honestly, when you look at them, because yes, Jackies is enabled, but I feel like the same thing can be said for the solo lanes overall. When you look at the Antonio on the top lane, he's pretty much playing the same thing we've known him for the LVP. He's bringing in the Malphite. We saw him yesterday, and for me, this team knows exactly how they're supposed to play around this top laner, which fills his role perfectly within GX right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of weak siding, right? A lot of tanks coming in. I do think it's a little bit exploitable, though. I think there's a lot of potential to pick stuff like Twisted Fate preemptively, knowing that he'll play a tank, and then you'll have a good matchup. I think the Malphite was a little bit fake. I don't know, we were talking about it backstage, and going down a bunch of CS, I think there's room for being dove as well after loads of trades from the TF. So, yeah, maybe a bit exploitable, but definitely very good on his champion still.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Vitality try to exploit it yesterday, but at the same time, it speaks through to the team cohesion and their level of team play, where he got set behind so much in the early game, but then he was sacrificing himself. He was giving up waves all to get the carries in Patrick and Jackie is extremely strong and relevant in the game.
We've talked about GX having an upward trajectory and slowly advancing to a playoffable position. What other team do we believe in here in the LEC to make it and find the solutions fast?
I mean, it has to be Vitality. I really do think Vitality have the potential to have a deep run into playoffs, genuinely. I think if they don't troll draft like yesterday, where they're picking 4 squishy champions with only a frontline Tahm-Kench and have no engage in OCC, only playing around a Twisted Fate and a Taliyah, they can do absolutely well. Their early game's phenomenal, their macro, their micro, individual laning. I mean, we saw Vetio popping off yesterday versus Jackie's. I think they're the team to watch.
And for me, I was really happy, you know, for Vitality coming into the split. I was like, you know, they're making a big upgrade in the jungle. It's gonna be super great. But then week 1, I was just incredibly sad. Week 2, signs of life again. I was like, it's gonna be amazing. They're back. But man, week 3, it's happening all over again. You know, the same issues they had in the week 1. Dragon setup before every objective. I feel like they're just getting caught one by one. Their setups are janky. And I just really want the Vitality from week 2 to come back again.
I mean, I'd contest you there. I'd say, you know, that draft, I feel like you had to play 10 times better than the enemy team because you just had so few tools to work with and you had to outplay. I know maybe you disagree, but it was so difficult to watch. And yes, it's really frustrating. I agree with you.
And I also think that, you know, when Karzi is just having such a pop-off split, I think it's a bit... it's not so great to put him on Senna so much, you know, because I feel like even in their losses, he's been having huge impact on all the other champions he's been playing. Sure, Senna can still work, but I just feel like it's more reliable and more foolproof to just put him on, you know, a hard carry.
So when you look at the rest of the standings, of course, we have KC and MDK who are in a really difficult situation here. 3 games left. They're gonna have to step in starting today. But when we look at the first game that we have on our hands for today's schedule, Heretics and Rogue, it looks complicated for both teams because they haven't shown the best signs of life, let's say, in the last LEC games that we saw. But if we can trust someone on Heretics side to be the star of the team, to be the captain of the team, to lead this team, because to me, this is what they're missing right now, who would it be?
For me,
where are we looking at?
It definitely has to be FLICKR, because when I look at Team Heretics, they're also kind of having this slow play style. They're not really doing much. They're relying on, you know, their objective setups and everything to get their leads. That's where most of their leads come from. But I also feel like they're missing some sort of star power. I think that every single time where Heretics has been doing good has been off the back of, you know, Jankos on one hand, but also FLICKR being empowered.
Yeah, I think Jankos' lead in last split it spoke wonders, but there was also another thing. I think that's just cohesiveness and identity in what you want to do. I just remember yesterday, at a specific grub play where Trimby was engaging 4 versus 5 at a grub fight, and then Wunder was TPing bot. It was just the most discoordinated play that I've seen from the team, and it's just not looking that great.
And it's not going to get easier for them because they have Rogue today, and they have Fnatic and G2 on the last week of the LEC. So for me, if we want to see a glimpse of hope on the side of Heretics, they have to do it now.
Yeah, definitely, because especially for a team that is struggling, you're going into the last week of your potential season. You need this win also for the confidence, you know, because you're facing 2 giants in the next week, and you know, you need signs of life, especially from a matchup that is perceived to be quite easy in the form of Rogue.
And now when you look on the side of Rogue, let's see if they can show something. Jiniro is standing by with N-Rated and Blue Knight in the Marriott Bonvoy pre-game interview. Over to you, Ginny.
Thank you so much, Laura. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the interview where we have Blue Knight as well as Unrated from Rogue. I really appreciate you guys joining me this time around.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I love the energy already. I want to start talking about Summer Split so far and the expectations that both of you had for the roster coming into this. I'll start with you, Unrated, and maybe Blue Knight can pick it up from his perspective.
We managed to have a really good run towards the end in last split, so our expectations were comparably higher, obviously. We thought top 6 is definitely doable and something we should achieve and should aim for in the first place. I think we have quite underperformed in a lot of matches. When you see how we played versus SK towards the end, it felt like we were a bit different team than we are now. It's not about decisiveness, I think it's just a lot about bringing performances from scrims into stage.
I think with our roster, we stayed the same from the last split because we believe in that this roster is the roster that can make it work. And I think it's really important that even though we had a rough start now into the split, we keep together and keep that trust, because now the next 3 games are actually the really important one versus direct competitors, and we can make it from our own gameplay. And I think our own gameplay will be good enough, and we should take the confidence in this practice that we bring it.
I want to talk about the next 3 games that you have coming up, and what are you looking to change in terms of bringing that gameplay from scrims onto the stage?
I think it's just in scrims, the atmosphere is maybe a little bit different. It's like you have more of a go for it attitude, and I think that's what we want to show today. Just show that we can go for things as well, and that we have these spots on stage where we can maybe. In the past, we went 50-50 and it went to the other side, but now it can go for us, and we need to like maintain this pressure up ourselves that we can perform, and
It's not only about pressure, I think it's a lot about composure. I want us to have this one win where we basically have a knot untied and then we're unleashed. And I think that is the moment that we're missing right now, that we just have the feeling no matter what we touch, it's a success, rather than us doubting things that we know are working. And this is currently the state we're in, I think, a little bit. And yeah, this can fix itself over literally one game where we have a good performance and everyone feels like we're back up on top, like how we were used to playing before. And yeah, it's just a matter of game by game right now.
And when it comes to heading into a game and finding that confidence and finding that inner, let's get unleashed and just like go full send it, how do you manage to achieve that with players?
I think every player is very different. They need different things, but as soon as they're in the game, we can't help them anymore. So for me, it's until the last second, I'm with them every day, every night when they want to talk about matchups. We can play 1v1s. Like yeah, but it's like also all league related. Like we play mid lane matchups. We played. We looked at provis together. The team's looking at provis together. We tried to spend the time together about League of Legends, and then all this time will accumulate. That in the game, this trust just is there that we can make a snap decision and win.
Also the understanding of what we do, how we do it, what champions work as which tools, and how to actually use them. I think that's just something that needs a little bit of clicking that is not yet happening.
Yeah, that click.
Yeah, something to click. Well, hopefully it does this time around. You guys have 3 match days left, and it's not necessarily do or die, but there is still like a bit of a position where this eventually will happen.
Every game counts.
Every game counts, indeed. Thank you guys so much for the interview. I really do appreciate it, for the insight.
Thank you very much.
And Casters, Hysterics, and Broxo, you guys take it over.